All right, so we left off here. We had said that the 34.9 is needed because at 35, you start accumulating. So you want 34.9 as this 0 point. You need a place to start at 0. So you pick the number right before your data, right? Because it's possible these two people are both 35. So you need the number right before that to be the nothing. There was nothing before 35. So in other words, nothing before or equal to 34.9. And that's what you're saying here, right? The first class is 35, so we've got to start at 34.9 because nothing had accumulated before that. Let me just put this way. All right. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Alana, this graph is the silliest graph I've ever seen. Nobody would ever use this graph. Ah, but you'd be wrong. This graph gets used all the time. Let me show you how. And actually, it's in particular this graph, the second one, not the first one so much. But the second one gets used constantly. And let me just show you some of the images. So all I looked up was percentile graph, children. And hello, weight and growth charts for children. They're all percentile graphs. They are literally every one of these on this page practically. Not that one, but most of the rest of them, they're ogives, right? On this one, it's actually the table to make an ogive and some others, right? So let me just click on one, for example, right? It's showing the percentiles, your age, what your weight should be, and all of that, and your body mass index, right? It's a glorified ogive, right? So if you ever have kids of any kind, or if you ever were a child yourself, you were compared against charts like this. Now, how does it work? Well, the percentage, remember, because it's accumulating, the percentage is the percent below you. So if you have a 64.9, for example, which means you're at this dot right here, what percent is below you? Well, you go to the left and you can see that that dot is right around the 20% mark, right? So you could say that person was in about the 20th percentile. Not perfect because, you know, we didn't write it out. Matter of fact, I could probably figure it out. 64.9 is right here, so it's actually the 22nd percentile. See that? Because 22% is below you. Now, of course, I'm picking ones that were actually on the grid. What about, I don't know, a person that scores 60, kind of halfway in here? Well, it looks like it's about the 18th percentile or so, right? So you just kind of round. I picked one that was an actual dot, but let me type up one more. Hold on. Okay, I copied and pasted here. So if you scored about, I just did 60. 60 would be about 18. What about 70? That's like this tick mark right here is kind of halfway between 65 and 75. So if you scored 70, it would appear to be about, okay, so take the 70. There's 70. Go to the left. And it looks like it's about 30. Okay, 30 would be halfway, but we're a little bit above that. So 35 maybe? I mean, you're just rounding it. It's not, you know, perfect. And you can see that in real life percentile graphs, let me go back to the webs. Okay, you can see they have a lot more markings on them. See all the grids everywhere? That's to help you determine not only where you exactly fall on things, but where the percentiles are, right? Okay, you can see it. All these graphs have pretty intense grids, and that's why, to make it easier to read, right? Than this is pretty basic. But of course, I could go add more lines in Excel. Excel gives you that option. I'm just not going to bother. All right, now 60% of people taking the test appear to score below. Okay, so 60% is right here, 0.6. So I go across at 60, and it looks like it hits at about 80, right? Because 80, maybe just a little bit past 80. It's maybe like 81. Again, you're just rounding it. You know, you don't know exactly. Okay. We're done with ogives, and next time we will move into time series plots. See you then.